Well, after SCOTUS went all savage on affirmative action, it turns out that Joy Reid, the race lady herself, broke down, came out, admitted, confessed that yes, she was a product of it.
He ain't lying.
The reason why she got into Harvard.
Shock the hell out of me.
Surprised?
Not really.
Pack up the car, kiss grandma goodbye, kids. We're going back to the joys of Reid.
No!
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this...
See, now that's some bullshit.
...is what's next. What's up, everyone? Happy 4th of July, or should I say happy month of July, where we celebrate something that's real, a flag that's real, and none of the bullshittery and nonsense. I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next, your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are going to enjoy this day with fireworks, family, friends. Be careful out there, and enjoy the day that God has given us. Well, I'm sure this is one person who's not enjoying the day so much. Joy Reid. Remember her? The race lady? The race lady? Really? The race lady, as Tucker Carlson likes to call her. Of course, whose every single exciting, mouth-watering episode is seen through a racial prism. So there should be no surprise to any of you. But it turned out that she had a confession. Yes, she broke down. She admitted to the fact that because of affirmative action, you know, the one that SCOTUS blew up the other day, thank you, Clarence Thomas, that she was a product of it. And it's the only reason why she got into Harvard, because, you know, grades and merit don't really mean anything anymore. But let's have fun with this. Here we go. This comes out of the post-millennial. Self-owned. Joy Reid says she's only got into Harvard because of AA. And no, we're not talking about Alcoholics Anonymous. While discussing the United States Supreme Court decision to ban affirmative action in college admissions, and of course it will flow over into businesses, MSNBC, yes, the network that barely anybody watches, anchor Joyless Reid, the race lady, claimed that the only reason she got into Harvard was because of that very same practice. Reid made the comments on Thursday, or confession, while appearing as a guest on All In with Chris Hayes, another show that nobody knows ever existed, where the two discussed the SCOTUS ruling that determined affirmative action policies violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Yes, remember that little piece of paper, you know, 17 pages long, you know, that, anyway, they won't know anyway. Quote, I got into Harvard only because of affirmative action, Reid told Hayes. I went to school no one ever heard of in Denver, Colorado, in a small suburb. I didn't go to Exeter or Andover. I didn't have college test prep. I just happened to be really nerdy and smart. Well, that is very questionable. And have really good grades and good SAT scores. Well, and again, very questionable. Reid explained, a Harvard recruiter flew to Denver and I met up with her at a Village Inn restaurant. So she applied for Harvard. They flew out to Denver like she was, I don't know, a college football recruit or coach or athletic director. Well, anyway, did a pre-interview to pull me into Harvard. I was pulled in affirmatively. Yeah, well, that's nice. Let's hear it from the mouth herself.
Well, let me just be clear. I got into Harvard only because of affirmative action.
There we go. Yeah, that's it. That's all the confession you need. The Supreme Court ruled on the legality of affirmative action in college admissions as a result of lawsuits brought to the group by students for fair admissions. During the segment, Reid failed to mention the racial discrimination and policy brought towards Asian American students. Yes, the most slammed racial group and denied racial group of enrollment in colleges just happens to be Asian Americans, yet they have the highest SAT scores. Who knew? While she attended Harvard, her mere presence was questioned by white people towards campus. On campus. Quote, I was in a big conference class where some white students stood up and said, those students, the black students, are only here because of affirmative action. Facts. It became a huge argument that we all ended up having. Now, let me correct that last comment when I said facts. A lot of them got in because of affirmative action. And a lot of them got in because of the SAT scores and how good they were regarding their merits. So let me make that clear. But in Reid's case, yeah, totally affirmative action. She added, I never had my academic credentials questioned. I never had anyone question whether I was intelligent until I got to Harvard. And it was definitely a point in my experience there. It was one of the many reasons I was miserable there my freshman year. You felt completely out of place. People kept telling me you shouldn't be here. And yet some of the people I went to school with were far less smarter than me. Yes, they were dummies than the other black folk here. Black folk. On Thursday, Supreme Court ruled to strike down affirmative action in colleges and universities. And of course, like I said before, it will bleed over into businesses. The court ruled 6-3, that's a solid vote, that affirmative action is unconstitutional, violating the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. The ruling came as part of two cases, Student for Fair Admissions, Inc. versus University of North Carolina, and Students for Fair Admissions, Inc. versus President of Fellows of Harvard College. My thoughts. Funny how one of the cases happened to be against Harvard. Go figure. But regarding the race lady, Joy Reid, that is the perpetual world that she lives in. That is the bubble that she lives in. Everything is seen through a racial prism. So it doesn't matter what the episode is. Well, you know, we got something going on with climate change. It's racism. Well, you know, can't believe how that team just crushed that other team. Racism. You know, everything is about race in her eyes and those of her ilk who think that way. Now, for her to come out and do a straight up confessional, yeah, affirmative action is the reason why I got into Harvard. But then again, you were like, oh no, it wasn't my grades or my SAT scores or anything like that that got me in. It was because of affirmative action. But then, like in the article, she failed to recognize the imposed racism, the institutionalized racism that affirmative action has been for the better part of almost 70 years, up until SCOTUS, led by one savage himself, Clarence Thomas, blew it up. So Joy Reid is going to continue to cry, as she always does, because that's what she does best. She cries, racism, she cries, racism, she cries, and then more racism. And of course, every time she does that, less and less people watch. But this is the world she sadly lives in. And as always, we will continue to mock her. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And yeah, I was a little late to this party, but I felt how to get my 2 cents in. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.